Hello!
Hello!
In this video we're going to run through the differences that we've found with having a van from a small builder than a large dealership. We'll also run through things that have broken on the van, things that we've had modified on the van, the amount of nights we've done in the van, the mileage we've done, and some of the things that we've got planned for the future. So let's get into it.
Okay, so in October 2023 we purchased this van and it's now October 2024. We've done 84 nights as of last night or this morning, whichever way you want to put it, in the nights sleeping in the van, and we've done around about 5,500 miles, which is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were on, did you say 4,300 when we picked it up?
Yep.
And it was on 9,800, something like that. Yeah, so pretty good going. What you've got to remember is obviously we both work full-time jobs, so we're away weekends. 84 nights in a year is pretty good going, we think, anyway. And you know, we'd like to do more, but you know, work gets in the way.
We do feel that if we've not at least achieved 80, we've failed.
Yeah, we
but that's a personal target.
Yeah, we like to target 80 in a year, don't we?
We bought the van to use it.
Yeah, but basically, to run through quickly for you, if you're new to the channel, this is an S&L Apollo. S&L are a small builder in, well, Yorkshire really. It's near Selby, a place called Cliffe. We originally did a lot of research, well, Heather did a lot of technical research on the van that we wanted to replace our Elddis. And we've got no problems with the Elddis. We loved Pearl. We had Pearl for 2 years, but we were just finding limitations, and we wanted to sort of improve the way that we camped in the van. So we did a lot of research, found a short list, and there was a video about that. I'll put a link to that at the end. But yeah, we eventually stumbled upon S&L as being our preferred builder. And it's all been positive, really. The best thing about dealing with S&L, as we say, is the fact that you can talk to the guys that actually built your van, and although people knock Brownhills, we had fairly positive dealings with Brownhills. I know people have had a lot of problems, don't get me wrong.
Say that about any big
dealership. You can, yeah,
you know, you'll always get a percentage of people complaining.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, there's been a lot of negativity, and we could have had negativity, but we were quite firm with them on a few occasions, and we got the stuff done that needed doing. So we got nothing against them. We did enjoy the Brownhills experience, but as I say, a mass-produced van, it was just difficult to sort of change things. And
what you see is what you get, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, even down to the fact that when we went and ordered the van, we said we don't want a microwave. Well, it comes with a microwave. That's your lot, mate. With this van, yeah, to run through a little bit of background, we did originally order a brand new van from S&L, and we were going to have it built the way we wanted, but because of the long lead time from vans from Fiat at the time, we were looking at a year till build, which wasn't an issue, but it then got dragged out and dragged out and dragged out. No fault of S&L, just Fiat in general were really slow. And this van came up used at a year old, and it was spec'd out a lot more than we'd originally picked. You know, all the toys singing and dancing that we didn't really.
And the auto box.
Yeah, that we didn't really need, and it was an automatic, as Heather said. And it worked out at roughly the same money as what we'd specified for a manual, with a lot less. So we took the plunge and bought this van. However, there were a few things on it that we didn't want, or we wanted to alter. And luckily, as we say, speaking to the guys that built it, we were able to just go directly to them and say, can you do this, can you do that? So example being, we had the wardrobe turned into cupboards. We've had plug sockets moved for the microwave, simply because they fit the plug socket behind the microwave, and we wanted to be able to isolate it and use it for other things. We've had the heater changed from gas to diesel, but it's also not been without its problems. But I think it's all down to how the dealership deals with the problem. So I'll run through quickly. First thing we found with the van was one of the hob tops wasn't working on the cooker. it would light but wouldn't stay alight. We spoke to them about it, and basically the guy who'd had the van before us hadn't even used the cooker. So that was by the by. We got an engineer out because it was cheaper for us than travelling up to S&L, and the
I have to say, we didn't try it when we went looking at it, so that's our own.
But it doesn't matter anyway, because we bought the van privately through S&L. But anyway, the thermocouple had gone. The guy came out and changed it, but Anthony from S&L sent us the original purchase for the cooker, so we were able to claim that on warranty from Thetford anyway. The
gas engineer did say that he's seen this many times before, and it is a fault in the factory.
Yeah.
So nothing to do.
Nothing to do with S&L. So that was sorted. We had the issue with the step failed on it, the electric step, but again, that was dealt with. That was under warranty. That was a two-lay problem, nothing to do with S&L.
They fitted it for us.
They fitted it for us. They organised the replacement. We just went up and fitted it. We had the issue where the battery went completely flat on the van. That was a Fiat problem. There was a software issue on the radio that kept turning the radio on and off overnight, and it flattened the battery. Again, that was a free thing that Fiat did because there was a recall on it. Recently, we've had an issue. I think I mentioned in a recent video, the van was serviced at Brownhills, had to go to a Fiat dealership for that, and Brownhills is one. So we've always had a warning light on the dashboard saying that the parking sensors at the rear are not operating. That is because the bike rack on the back sort of interferes with the sensors. I'll show some footage of that. It's been coded out so that it doesn't beep all the time. So you always get a P on the dashboard saying parking sensors are out, and that's no problem. But when it came back from service from Brownhills, we also had a bulb out warning light on the dashboard, which we'd never had before, saying that the rear fog lights weren't working. Now, I've been able to do a bit of research. So what happens is, with a caravan or camper van or anything that you can tow a trailer with, when you plug your trailer board in, it knocks out the original fog lights on the vehicle so that they don't glare back at the caravan or whatever, and it makes the fog light on the trailer board work. Being the rearmost light, that's perfectly legal and that's fine. And when you pull the plug out, it diverts back to the van's working and the trailer board not working. Absolutely fine. It's doing what it should, but the bulb warning light was never there before. Now, all I can think of is when Brownhills serviced the van, they obviously did a coding reset to say it had been serviced to knock the service indicator out. I don't know, and they've maybe knocked that code off. It's a bit weird, but I'll show you what's happening on some overlay footage. One thing that I have noticed, which is a good thing since this, is the bike rack on the back is from a Dutch company, so they're obviously made for the continental market for left-hand drive vehicles. And I don't really know how the company that fitted the bike rack has got away with making it UK compliant, because the lights are the wrong way round. If you're not aware, your fog light has to be on the offside if you've only got one, and on a continental van, obviously the offside is the opposite side. So the trailer board's actually still got a fog light on, and it's on the near side on this van. So I've got to do a bit of rewiring and flip them over, which shouldn't be a problem. It's just a case of swapping a wire and swapping the lenses over. But I do wonder how that company got the compliance certificate to actually fit these in the UK. Again, that was fitted by the previous owner, or for the previous owner, and not by S&L. It was just a tow bar fitting company that did that. So that's a bit strange. Can't think what else we had. Have we had anything else break? I don't think we have we?
No.
I think that's it. It's been pretty good, to be honest. So what do you find that you've liked more about this van over the last van? Is there anything you'd change?
Well, I mean, the thing is, when we first saw the Apollo at Peterborough, I didn't realise how much I wanted a U-shaped lounge.
No.
And although I sit that side and Rick, I sit that side, Rick sits that side. I don't know, whatever. And Poppy sort of floats between the two of us. Yes, you. She's bored. Basically, the U-shaped lounge, I think, is wonderful.
Yeah.
It gives us that little bit more room at night as well, because you're not, your top end isn't like coming off the bed and this sort of thing. So that I love. Having the garage, even though a lot of the time it's half empty, the garage is, it has to be said. So, like I say, that I think is brilliant. We were never ones for opening the back doors and sitting out the back, so it didn't really matter to us that you could still open the back doors if you wanted to. But yeah, we were never ones for that. The other thing that I found, which is great, is the kitchen area. Two things: having the extra 300mm means that I've got so much more room in the kitchen area than we had in the Elddis. And the other thing is I like the cooker right by the door. Basically, I'm right-handed, and when I'm going into the cooker, I stand to the left of the cooker. And when we were in Pearl, I was standing in the actual lounge area in order to be able to go down and
because the cooker was this end, wasn't it?
And it has to be said, it's me, because I do the cooking, all of the cooking in the van. And I've not poisoned him yet. So I would say those are the main things that I like. I like the extra storage above at the top, and
bench toilet.
Yeah, the bench toilet has made a huge difference. The toilets in these pedestal toilets, some of them are just, it's not that they're too high, it's just that they don't bring the floor up to match when it's supposed to be a wet room as well. So
I think for me, the front end of the van being so much more usable, being able to spin both chairs and both of them having a workspace area is great. The one thing that I thought I would never get on with in this van is the raised floor in the rear. We'd actually negotiated with S&L when we were originally going to purchase a new one that they were going to delete this raised floor for us because I'm so tall. But living with it for a year, to be honest, it hasn't really bothered me. If I do stand up, which I obviously do, the roof light above me is quite a fair size, and I just naturally sort of stand into that. And I find I bang my head no more or no less than I did in the old van, simply because I've knocked it on smoke alarms, or I knocked it on the edge of the roof lights in any van.
Yeah, the smoke alarm was right down the centre.
It was down the centre, yeah.
Pearl, and like say, you used to hit your head on that.
Yeah. If anything, the most we both hit our head on is the over cab thing, where we're getting into the front cab. The headbanger part, we've banged our head on that many times. But other than that, it's all been positive. And yeah, we're loving it. There's no sort of real reason to look at change, certainly not for a few years, although you'll know we've been making the odd video about A classes for the future. They're just really to log on the channel so that maybe in 4 or 5 years we liked this one, this is a great layout. And also, no denying, videos of vans do well for the channel. It's always nice to add a bit of content like that, really. So but other than that, positive things only. Even the negative things haven't been S&L's fault, and they haven't really been Fiat's fault. I think it's just the case, as I keep going over, it's so much easier to talk to someone rather than a big dealership, isn't it? And get things sorted.
Well, that was the thing when I had the issue with the step, and I was testing it and all this sort of thing. I phoned Anthony up, and he sent me a picture of the wiring diagram and the details of the step and the switch and all this sort of thing. But like I say, S&L have always been so helpful, and I'm not saying that Brown Hills wouldn't have been,
I think the difference with Brownhills or
it would
any
have taken
dealership,
6 months.
it's not just that. You've got to go through so many people to get to the point you need to be. You know, you've got to get through to reception, to talk to someone in the workshop who maybe doesn't care as much as talking straight to the guy that built the van. I think that's the difference, as I say.
The other thing I would say is, was it a whale heater we had in there?
Yeah,
We had a whale heater and a separate
separate
tank
heater and boiler in the old van.
This combi boiler is better, I think, because if it's cold and you're warming the van, it warms the hot water without you having to have additional, use additional electricity or gas or diesel, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we really do love it, and that's why we spend 84 nights away in it. And Poppy's head, come here.
Blocking the camera.
Come here.
Anyway,
don't work with children and dogs.
As I said an hour ago, thanks for watching. We'll see you on another video.
Bye.